What's up YouTube, I'm Mike, and today I'm back with a video that was inspired by one of my subscribers, a guy by the name of Josh P7473. I'm going to read you his comment because he says it very well. He says, I'm a week into Tren Ace, looking in the mirror, it's weird because I feel like fucking Superman, but the physical manifestation of my personality hasn't changed, hasn't surfaced just quite yet. It's like I look in the mirror and I'm like, why don't I look, oh, I can't read the rest of it because that's a screenshot. Basically, why don't I look like as big as I feel? And I think that this is something that can happen on any steroid. In fact, there have been some studies into anabolic steroid use in athletes, and that they found that often the study groups who were using steroids didn't necessarily outperform their previous lifts, or even the placebo group who was not using steroids, but the steroid group always overestimated how good their workout was, or how strong they were, or how big they looked after the fact. And Trenbolone, above and beyond all compounds I've ever used, seems to have the very unique ability of, as Trenbolone is known to do, blowing this massively out of proportion. It is usually most pronounced in the very beginning of a tren cycle, during that come up phase where the tren is, you're first feeling it in your body and you feel like absolute Superman. And the number of times that I've been in the gym and I've told my wife, like, oh my God, I just hit this unbelievably savage fucking workout. My strength was through the roof. Like, I just feel so strong and so good. And then I like look back through my fucking lift log, and the workout actually wasn't that impressive. You know, I wasn't actually setting PRs. I wasn't remarkably stronger than the last time I was in the gym. But my estimation of how the workout felt was totally different. Now, there is something to be said for the fact that you can lift, let's say you do 60-pound dumbbell curls for 6, and 6 can feel really difficult, and then you could get on cycle and you could hit 60-pound dumbbell curls for 6, you know, 1 in each arm, for 6 reps, and it could just feel a little bit easier, where you still tap out. You still can't get that 7th rep, but the 6 reps felt better on cycle than the 6 reps felt off cycle. There's a possibility that there's something like that going on, but it is a well-known fact that steroids can cause people to basically overestimate their abilities, overestimate their looks, overestimate their performance. There's a number of times where I've been in the gym and I'm lifting and I'm looking in the mirror and my veins are bulging, my shoulders are popping, and I'm feeling, I have this vision in my head of what I must look like, and I can't wait to get to the locker room to pull my shirt off and take a video. And then I shoot the video and watch it back, and it's like, damn, like, really? I feel like so much bigger than that today. I feel so much stronger. I feel like, and so tren has this really powerful effect, especially during in the early going, of convincing you that you're actually making more progress than you really are. Now, on the one hand, you could view this as a negative. This is going to come as no shock that I'm going to fucking spin this, because tren is my favorite compound on the planet, so I'm always going to look for the fucking silver lining. I think that it's possible that that's one of the things that makes tren such a powerful compound. Because if you go to the gym and you hit what is actually a relatively average workout, but you feel like a fucking savage, your confidence to throw more weight on next time is going to be markedly increased, versus if you go to the gym and you hit what you feel like is a pretty average workout. You don't feel terribly strong. You don't feel terribly confident in your ability to go up in weight. You didn't feel terribly confident in how you were handling the weight. This is something that you'll hear a lot amongst powerlifters. Like a powerlifter will hit You know, he'll try to do like some giant squat, right, for one. And he'll get the squat. And everybody standing around is like congratulating. I'm like, oh man, way to go. You know, you just squat fucking 650 pounds. And he'll be like depressed. He'll be like pissed off about it. He'll be like snapping his belt off like he did something wrong. You're trying to figure out what the hell is this guy pissed off about it. And I've asked people, I've literally walked up to this guy I used to lift with, his name was Colton, and been like, dude, like, why do you seem pissed off? And he's like, the weight didn't move that well. The weight should have moved better. And so to this powerlifter guy who's used to being able to hit these giant fucking sets, even though he was able to successfully squat some giant amount of fucking weight, it was harder for him to get the weight up than he felt like it should have been. And so to him, it was nearly a failure. He's unhappy with the fact that he got this rep. Where all of us standing around like, God damn, this guy's a fucking monster. And so I think that is where what is effectively fake confidence produced by Tren in the early going can translate into real gains down the road. If you go to the gym the next week after thinking that you hit this savage workout and you put more weight on the bar and you have the mental fortitude and the mental confidence that you are going to get this set, the odds that you're actually going to end up lifting more weight are substantially increased, because we all know that bodybuilding is first and foremost a mind game. Most people are substantially stronger than they think they are. And there's a lot of factors that can play into this, but with the right set of neurochemicals, moms have lifted trees and cars and shit off of their kids that were trapped inside. Like, the human body has this extra gear that you can tap into and actually produce a substantial amount of contractile force. Like, you can move a lot of weight if you can get your mind to it. And I think that is one of the things that any steroid does, is that all steroids give you that mind-muscle connection in a different kind of way than lifting natty, which is one of the many reasons that I love to start blasts. Like, when I was blasting, I would start with a Kickstarter of something like Anavar, because I want to feel that mind-muscle connection from day one. I want to feel like I'm on cycle day one. I don't want to wait 4 weeks before I start to feel the drug working in my system. So that's why I would put Anavar in day one. Even though I know Anavar is not going to put a lot of muscle on my frame, it's going to give me that mind-muscle connection and that drive to really hit savage workouts, so that when all of the androgens and new food that I'm eating and everything starts taking hold, I've already torn my muscles down, and now the androgens can go to work in rebuilding them. I want that extra mind-muscle connection that convinces me that I'm a fucking savage, that convinces me that I can get 1 or 2 or 3 more reps, or add another 5 or a 10-pound plate, or move the pin down the stack 1 more fucking plate. That's one of the things that androgens can do for you, while in theory, they're only making you feel stronger than you are. If you believe in that strength, as fake or as trumped up as it may be, it can actually make you become that strong, because you force your body to switch into that deeper gear and tap into more of its resources. And then if you do that week in, week out, you're going to start seeing actual real gains translate into muscle and strength. And that's the power of progressive overload. That's the reason that anytime you're bulking or training, really you should always be progressively overloading. You always want to be pushing your body to get a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger, so that you constantly stay in a state of progress and never a state of stagnancy. And so if you jump on a trend cycle and you have this effect, I would say don't let it get to you. Just enjoy it. Roll with the feeling. You know, if you go in the gym and you feel like you tore that fucking place apart, and then you turn around and find out you didn't set a single PR, you don't really look that much different, don't let that fuck with you, because that attitude that the drug is creating, that mental fortitude and confidence and self-esteem and drive, is going to be there in the gym for you day in, day out, week in, week out. And 16, 20 weeks down the road, you are going to start seeing the fruits of those labors. If these drugs didn't give us that massively inflated self-esteem, that massively inflated ego, we probably wouldn't do them. And so, while I think it is definitively true and has been backed up by scientific data, that oftentimes a person who is enhanced will overestimate the quality of their workout or the quality of their physique relative to someone who's not enhanced, I think that over the long haul, that overestimation of your progress will lead to real and true progress. So there you have it. Thank you to, who did I say, Josh? I think it was. Josh P7473, thank you for that comment. That's a really great point. I would love to see everybody else in the comments. Do you experience the same thing? Have you noticed, that various compounds can make you feel more human than human, only to find out you really weren't? And do you think that in fact it is that, over the long haul, that added that added sense of self-inflated ego is what drives the mind-muscle connection and leads to the real long-term growth that we're all looking for. So there you have it. Love to see what you have to say in the comments as always, and we'll see you on the next one.